Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
Welcome everybody to the Risen Esports Dominate Premade Week 4. I am the Doctor, being joined by Dougie J, and today we are bringing you Team Boba Boys versus Unbroken. How you doing today, Dougie?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good, but as always, we're in the desk for Risen. It's a good day.
Yes, and draft has already gotten underway here. Kindred and Alistar already banned away, and Gangplank and Rengar on the opposite side. So
Yeah, they are prioritizing these comfort picks for Broken. Both of those characters have hundreds of games played, it feels like. And so as we continue through the draft, are you expecting the pocket picks to stay the bans, or are we going to start seeing some of those big meta picks get taken off the board?
breaking away from doing a mixture of meta and pocket picks is usually not the way to go. So staying with pocket picks and their best champs is probably what we're going to see throughout draft here. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how they mesh their comps together in order to be actually cohesive.
Yeah, we do see a Sona ban coming out, pretty popularized by Cloud9 recently with that tricky Lux Sona bot lane. But you do still have the option of running it with Soraka. So I'm curious if possibly we get that. They does look like it's going to be the Ashe Caitlyn handshake, however. And I have to say, I'm more on the Caitlyn side of that matchup.
Yeah, I think it's pretty player dependent, right? Like the person playing Caitlyn has to be pretty good. I feel like the Ashe is really one track. Like it's pretty easy to play, and you just ult and you kill the other person. But Caitlyn, in order to actually maximize the pressure, you have to be very aggressive early game, and that also means avoiding skill shots and trading very well. So it'll depend on how good he is at the Caitlyn for sure.
Rounding out the composition with some Braum, Echo, lots of hard crowd control coming out, I feel. Echo, bit of a flex pick. We're not sure exactly where that's going to go. I have to imagine it's going to be... actually, I honestly don't know. I've seen both of them mid and jungle recently.
Yeah, same. It'll be... Okay, so I mean, I think in this matchup, you probably want to send it mid. I'd definitely take Set in the matchup early, and then Echo can outscale it, but jungle early game is pretty important, so sending it mid will probably be best. If they can get a counter pick mid also, Echo will just be doomed in jungle and mid lane.
And so we are going to see our second set of bans coming through now. It does look like we are changing it up a little bit. You know, Galio's been seeing some play once again in the mid lane, I feel. But, you know, we're not seeing like big power picks banned away. You know, we still have access to the LeBlanc, the Lilia, the Aatrox. Boba Boyz really been playing a lot of games on these characters.
You might be a prophet because they just banned the little block. So what was the next one?
Well, for Team Broken, I probably want to ban away either the Aatrox or the Lilia. But again, it depends on if they think that's a jungle or a mid lane set.
Yeah, they seem convinced, or at least TUB is convinced that the Echo is probably jungle because of the way they're banning right now. But I think they want to send it mid. It's weird that... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think if you see the opposing team banning away mid laners, then you just send the Echo mid and make those bans kind of worthless.
Yeah, I hard agree. The Galio ban was interesting because if you think the Echo is gonna go mid, then why ban Galio? Galio's actually decent into the matchup, but I mean, and they already picked a mid laner. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see what their next pick is here.
So it actually looks like they missed a final ban.
Mm.
It is a
Zed.
Zed, which was hovered, and so that is a Zed ban. Now we do have Team Boba Boyz picking for their first out of the second rotation. They're really taking their time with it, and they're committing to a top laner.
Renekton, yeah, we've seen Renekton get blinded across the world in pro play. And it also kind of depends on whether or not it goes punished. This guy's just going to pick a tank, then okay. So, I mean, Shen's a really good pick, and it'll probably do decent into the matchup.
Yeah, Shen, I feel, is super strong, especially into that Renekton, who can be so reliant on those auto attacks. If you can use your Twilight Shroud to just negate the 3-strike stun, that takes away a lot of agency from the Renekton, and you can end up winning that fight. And now we do get our mid laner. So did Team Boba Boyz get a counter pick here?
We'll find out shortly. They finished.
I don't think set into Orianna is very enjoyable whatsoever.
No, although we have seen it done. We have seen it done in the LPL. They love to take the set into the mages just because it can kind of do whatever it can do whatever it wants and not get punished as hard early game. So, I don't think that's going to happen here. Kali and Renekton are both not junglers, so that's probably going to the
All right, so it is going to be the set jungle coming out, that standard phase rush, hex flash combination. And now that we have these two teams completely set up, Team Purple and Blue versus Team, Crowd Control, I don't know. This is looking like a really good game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I really love Unbroken's comp. I think it's like pretty balanced just overall. Like they can kind of match the Renekton in side lanes with Shen and still have really good team fight pressure. But I like the more aggressive and higher damage champs on Team Boba Boyz. Like Kali and Renekton can make this game very fun if either of them get just a single kill. So.
Yeah, and sometimes the name of the game is really crowd control, though. And with Unbroken, coming in 0-3 on the the season and looking for their first big win, I definitely think they picked a super strong comp to start this best of 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of tools, just all throughout the game. We've got decent early game, decent mid game, decent late game. It's a overall just well-rounded comp. So if they use their tools properly, they should have a smooth time from early to late. But the chances we see that happening is not likely. It's mostly going to be a bloody game for sure.
Speaking of bloody, looking at this bottom lane, we've seen Caitlyn paired with the Thresh almost as a last resort. People kind of focus more on like the Enchanter style picks. We've seen the Caitlyn Morgana, which was available. Why do you think they opted into that Thresh instead?
Caitlyn Morgana is just you pick those two to keep the enemy at their tower the entire time. But the Thresh Caitlyn is a little more kill oriented, right? Like you have the Thresh hooks in the E. Maybe it's comfort, but I do think that they're gonna look to not only keep them at their tower, but also look for kills. You can also get a little more roaming pressure off with the Thresh than you can the Morgana, because you can face check bushes a little more safely than she can.
It's very true. Does still get that stopwatch eventually into the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Pretty tanky on his own right. I think the bottom lane is definitely going to be the lane to watch, surprisingly. We are pretty used to this handshake right now, but the two supports we have are very different from what we've been seeing in competitive pro play. So now it is a bit more volatile.
Yeah, Braum was definitely picked a lot more early in the split. Really early in the split, he's picked a lot. And we've actually seen this matchup, the Braum into Thresh, a lot. You'd think on paper, Thresh usually counters Braum, but the Braum players have actually just outplayed the Thresh players, and they ended up winning out in most of the games. So we'll see if that happens here, but Thresh Caitlyn can hard punish this lane. It's gonna be fun to watch. I don't know, it's just gonna be skill-based player matchup. Jungle influence.
And so as we head into it, do you have any final thoughts on the draft phase so far?
I think it'll mostly hinge on Set and Echo. Assuming that no one dies by themselves, Set and Echo will be the driving engine for both teams. Wherever they are, that's where the action's going to be, and it'll depend on how well they play for their teams.
Yeah, I'm super curious how the Echo is actually going to operate late game. He doesn't really have a whole lot of assassination targets. He's going to have mainly the Caitlyn in that backline, but I mean, Set, Renekton, Thresh are all going to be fairly tanky. The Akali having, her invisibility to, rely on. The Echo, I feel, is just going to get completely outscaled.
Yeah, I think the same. I agree. I think Set will have more pressure early, and then Echo is just going to have a hard time late game. He's going to have to pretty much be used to either engage with the Shen ulti or the Rhino Ball, just transfer those tools into the fight, or he's just going to have to wait off to the side and maybe peel. I don't know. He's definitely going to play more of a utility role than an actual star of that team, assuming he doesn't get really fed. So it'll be interesting to watch.
All right, folks, we are going to take a short break while these two teams load into the Rift. They got to get their Lego pieces together, so stay tuned. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, it's Doctor and Dougie on the desk for this first game here of the Risen Dominate Premade. We do have Team Unbroken on the blue side, Team Boba Boyz on the red side, and we are going to be getting into the action.
Yeah, we may have a little level 1 scuffle up here. Top side is they may be pushing for some vision. No, looks like they're just gonna dance. Let's get out with classic.
It did seem like they got some vision of Dylan, though, so they do know what side of the jungle he is going to be starting. But no sweepers just yet either.
Unbroken actually got a nice little ward there on the race, or chickens. So that's pretty good for them. And Sad, unfortunately, just placed a defensive ward. He hasn't backed. He doesn't have sweeper, so they're going to be able to know where he starts. They're going to see him crossing. Actually, he comes around the backside. They're not going to know where he's starting. Those are a pretty swift move there. Really sneaky. If bot lane pretends to leash, they could totally have Unbroken stumped as to where he started.
Yeah, because he's probably going to go to that Croak second, right? You know, then by that time the ward will time out. He'll be able to do his chickens in peace. You know, they shouldn't be able to keep anything on him. And like you said, we are going to have the bot lane, you know, fake out on the timing here. This could really lead to some awkward gank paths coming their way.
Yeah, he had a few options there. He could have did Krugs and then ran top. Could have ran mid. Can still spook mid up here if he wanted. Alright, looks like he's just gonna go to the buff.
Yeah, he actually went under the bush so he doesn't get seen. I am curious though, because I feel like he's going to be behind experience-wise. As you can see, you know, Lovely did go down to the Krugs, is going to be doing a full clear now. So,
yeah, assuming Balling doesn't die, Lovely will have a huge CS lead on him and experience, and he'll even have that gank opportunity top. So that could be a little rough. I'd like to see if that dodging a vision actually turns into anything. So even bot lane here doesn't seem privy that he might be down. And he's coming around the backside. This could be really good for them.
Ordinary flashes forward, gets the flay and ignite. Here comes the death sentence, gonna connect on to the Ashe. Doesn't get the kill just yet. First blood over to Luxon, though. The haymaker wasn't even necessary.
No, and the level, that little sneaky play there behind the red buff, it definitely worked out for him. I don't think that bot lane had any idea that he was there.
Svelter actually getting a little too big for his britches and is going to go down in the 1v1 to Elkin as well.
Yeah, it looks like he was completely surprised by Renekton damage there. A bad trade and didn't flash where he needed to, unfortunately. Didn't TP back.
Conqueror's kind of tough to gauge sometimes, especially in these early levels. You know, we're not always seeing Renekton, you know, conquer. Sometimes we see press the attack. So, I mean, yeah, he'd been winning the trades up until that point, and it was just a ton of damage.
Yeah, Renekton, always hard to gauge the amount of damage he's going to do to you. Shen's kind of in the same boat, but Renekton is a little more scary, I think.
And they're just going to TP back in. Shelter's already down to 3/4 HP, coming up on a half. Holy moly, Lovely is going to be spotted out by the ward. Elkin's just going to dive right in. TP coming in as well. This will be another kill going over to Elkin. And so now Lovely has to run for the hills. But Sai going to get good damage off of that teleport.
Yeah, Boba Boyz are just working really well as a team right here. Taking full advantage of the Renekton Shen matchup. Akali had gotten mid push and was able to TP back up there for some backup. didn't totally need it, but he chased off the Echo, so that was good. They have a really nice lead right now. A good 2K. They just easily translate this into the Drake.
The hook's gonna connect. There's no more flay though, so Luxon has to burn through send hooks to get it. The stand behind me gets him out of danger, but the built over Peacemaker flash auto coming through. Luxon with another kill.
Oh, that was very well played for both of them. That was great. The early game with Kate Thresh is definitely, it's just way better than Ashe Braum. So they're taking full advantage of both those champions, and I mean, you hate to see it if you're Unbroken.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to talk about that top side match. You know, Svelter took so much minion damage before the gank came off. It was really difficult for him to try and take it that fight at that point. But this bottom lane, Ordinary is just playing, you know, extraordinary, being able to get send hooks completely out of position and really take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Unbroken, you don't really want to play around the Shen because he's just looking to CS and then get 6 and ult across the map, right? He'll out pressure an X in that way. So I think putting any attention up here is a bit of a waste, and they should actually just look to stabilize bot lane long enough for them to get 6.
Flash in. Dylan's going to get the 2-man face breaker. Haymaker gets his own self a kill, and Send Hooks forced to flash away. Lovely's here, but with only like 200 HP, not really going to be doing much for the squad.
Yeah, that level 1 start, I think, definitely threw him off. he was completely unable to match the set. Nexon might actually kill him again here. Oh no.
Yeah, Elkin hitting 6 first, forcing Svelter away. Is going to be backing without teleport, so this could potentially set up a really nice freeze for Elkin.
Yeah, poor Graph. I mean, he has to walk back to this. He's going to need jungle help to push that wave back in and break the freeze. There are so many options here for Team Boba Boyz. They already picked up the dragon. Can easily start to move their focus up towards top and just camp the Shen if they wanted to. You can camp mid.
Oh, Sai's going in with the ultimate, forces the heal out as well, taking the shuriken back. The shockwaves keeping him in danger zone, and Static Cheese actually wins the one-on-one.
Yeah, I think Sai either missed a Q or a small auto. Something was so closely misplayed, and unfortunately it leads to him dying. However, Static Cheese's sums are both down now.
Good. Just gonna chase him, throws out the haymaker. No burn though, so he is gonna stay alive.
Yeah, lucky him. He gets the wave pushed forward and he lives with 1 HP. Sai does have summoner advantage though, so can easily try to do that again here once he gets his ult back.
Ultimate cooldown's definitely much shorter than summoner spells. So looking across the map, you know, we are seeing a bit of a CS advantage for Lovely. And on Static Cheese. That's about it though. The side lanes do seem to be struggling a little bit for Unbroken.
Yeah, I don't think the CS lead is entirely enough. Set is... Oh, you know what? Actually, their gold is even. So the CS lead is actually helping him keep up with that kill that Set had gotten earlier. And mid lane's Orionna's actually in the lead by 400, so the game is definitely not over. They can easily take advantage of both these mages here having a gold lead.
Ooh, setting up a little bit of a bait on either side of the map. Both side lanes. Showstopper coming out, brings them deeper into the lane. Facebreaker brings them back to Svelter. Has to run, does not have flash available just yet. Using the recall, and down in the bot lane, more action on action. Ordinary is going to sacrifice himself for the betterment of the team. Meanwhile, on the top side, Lycan picks up his 3rd kill so far.
And now I think both teams are... Oh, we got another fight happening mid.
Static Cheese does have help, though. Lovely and gonna force the Psy flash.
It's a very good ult out. He doesn't have to burn his flash if he does that.
That one, yeah.
They might actually just collapse here on the set doing the Herald too.
This feels dangerous to me though, because they don't have Shockwave. They are running in basically ultless because Lovely would be, you know, running away at that point.
Yeah.
They do get the Herald though, and are just gonna walk out safely.
So I do think both teams are now playing to their strengths, right? Like Set is actually camping top, which is what we want to see. Yeah, there we go. Stopping us back, you know, asserting dominance. It's necessary as supports. So I'd like to see Set camp top mid more here, or camp top more here, and really look to punish the Shen. That you can easily get first tower there. Just kill him one more time, and he doesn't have flash. I mean, it's pretty easy first tower. And I think Lovely is finally starting to play towards bot, which is really good. because honestly, he's the tipping point that they need in order to get that lane, that 3v3 or 3v2 obviously in their favor. Yeah, and it looks like both teams are gonna look to start to do that. Although Dragon is coming up, and I don't think Team Boba Boys want to give it for free.
You know what I missed? Actually, now looking at the scoreboard, Ludley was actually the one to pick up the Herald, not Dylan. So they actually lost that fight, and they didn't really burn too much for it either. He still had his ultimate at the end. We are going to see the Herald popped in the mid lane, just in time for the Dragon. That's definitely more of a zoning Herald, but Sai is not afraid. Facebreaker coming in, Haymaker not even needed. Sai's finally going to get that kill he's worked so very hard for, and they now have the opportunity to try and collapse onto this Ocean Drake. They are not going to be in time, however, but Dylan is not afraid of anybody, but they are going to get out.
Team Boba there got a little distracted. I think they got the kill, and then they did a little victory lap mid, and they forgot that the Dragon was still up. So a little unlucky.
Oh no, Stealth there. Gonna miss the Shen taunt.
That would have been really good if he had landed another tower for sure.
Definitely would have evened the health bars out a little bit. The Herald did actually get a charge off in mid lane, so that is 300 gold over to the jungler. Lovely though, setting up a great parallel convergence. Doesn't stun anybody, but he will love that shield. Showstopper in the middle of two, and Elkin finally joining the fight on the other side of the map. Dylan's gonna pick up one. Everybody is here now. Svelter's gonna go down to Luxion. And so now Elkin just zoning forward, Sai picking up one, and Lycan picking up the third kill of the fight.
Yeah, Team Boba Boys cash in their lead they'd picked up early, and they win that fight. I think if the gold wasn't so uneven at the moment, that fight may look a little different, because Shen gets there with his ulti, doesn't have to... did he TP in, or did he ult? No,
he did ult.
So he ulted in, okay, yeah. So, I mean, the fight was kind of close, much closer than it looked, and if the gold lead wasn't so heavily in favor of Boba Boys, then who knows, that fight probably looks different. But unfortunately, Renekton is so strong right now. Set is so strong, and Caitlyn is Caitlyn. She does Caitlyn things. She autos you to death.
I mean, look at the CS differential that has, become up in that top side. 43 CS down, is crashing a wave right now, but it's still not enough to try and even this out. Elkin's so far ahead, and now has a blue buff, a completed Blade of the Ruined King, and a Phage, and now a pocket support just hovering him. Like, this man is getting all of the team's resources.
Yeah, he's so strong. He can easily 1v2, assuming he dodges the convergence from Echo. But he's just incredibly strong. He's gonna easily be a powerhouse in this game and a real threat.
They're actually sending 3 people topside. Svelter's trying to bait him in, but Elkin's been here before. He's just going to pop dominance. Gets the TP coming in as well for assistance. Healing up so very much. Lovely's forced to ult into the fight. He's taking super good blow. Shockwave's not going to connect on anybody. Sai picks up the kill for the killing spree, and the Showstopper seals Svelter's fate. Dylan Wang also on a killing spree, and a 3v1 quickly turned into a 3v3, and like you said, this gold lead is not in favor of Unbroken at any stage.
No, not at all. They should just play towards the opposite side of the Renekton. They know he doesn't have TP. Just continue to make plays. Oh,
flash in, double flash Facebreaker. Elkin picking up another kill. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Luxion's going to be picking up a nice, neat kill before going down. The turret in the top side is dead as well. And here comes Svelter trying to get a little bit of gold, but this is a lot of resources being spent on the support. And Ordinary just gonna chill. He knows that he doesn't need to get out. He's done his job. He's served his purpose.
Yeah, he does a little fresh dance there and just hangs out. Walshin whacks him to death.
This is tough. What do we need to see from Unbroken at this stage to really even things out? Because it seems like they're trying to make plays and just getting shut down at every step.
You can see how close the 2v2 is between Ash, Braum, and Fresh Caitlyn. And I think if Unbroken just plays through those two, they might actually stand a chance at winning. You'll get that classic little top lane feel where even though you're 5-0, bot lane can be easily the problem here. They just need to play towards their bot, and they'll be fine. Braum Ash has so much to see, so much catch potential. I mean, Orianna just plays the utility role and tries to keep Akali from doing Akali things. Most of Boyz has to run into them, so using Orianna ult to act as artificial terrain and stop them from running in, it'll be fine. Braum same, and Ash use ult to get picks. The game is not over, it's totally winnable.
Now, this is an interesting trade to me. If it actually becomes a trade, we see Team Boyz go for the Herald. They're instantly running down to this Earth Drag, though, and with Unbroken not contesting the Herald. Oh no, Sai just gonna pop that Shroud, staying sneaky beaky like. Does get taken super duper low, is finally gonna get stunned, but the hook lands onto Lovely. Showstopper brings him back to the rest of the team. Facebreaker bringing everybody close for the big group hug. Sai's finally gonna get shut down by the Shen, however, and now we see the arrow from downtown connecting onto Ordinary. Svelter's holding off 3 members though. Elkin can do it that much better, however, gonna pick up a kill. Ash just now joining the fight. Another shutdown going over to Unbroken. But Send Hooks is not a good battle for the Crocodile Man. And it's now Luxion trying to chase down his direct opponent in Kezra. But the fight seems to have broken down into a 2v2 with the health bars much favoring Boyz.
Yeah, Unbroken did pick up a few shutdowns though, and it's unfortunately, I think most of it got onto Shen, which isn't too helpful, but you can see if they just show up a little early, set up in a bush and camp, they can usually get some picks and look to turn the game around. That fight was really close because they caught Akali out there. If there was just one more person standing in that bush with them, she dies and that fight looks a lot different.
Yeah, especially if it's the Ashe. We did see Enchanted Crystal Arrow come in from basically mid lane, landing onto Ordinary. Not the best target, admittedly, but anything really counts at that point. And so now we do see Ordinary getting actually caught out. It is the 2 lowest damage members of the squad, but they're still able to take him down to about half HP in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, Boyz not invincible. You can see that they're making some small mistakes there. But unfortunately, it is usually the wrong 2 members of Unbroken in the bush waiting for him. Braum and Shen, buddies, I'm sure, but not strong enough to take out the Thresh.
Once again, a zoning Herald, this time in favor of Boyz. The jump in, the steal coming through! Lovely being the star hero of his team so far.
Yeah, that steal is so great. All they need is time here for Ashe and Orianna to scale up, and even Echo to scale up. So that easily buys them another 5 minutes of game time. That's great for them.
So, I mean, it does matter, though, right? Like, if you can get to this, Earth Soul, it does give you a little bit of a shield. At that point, you're sitting on 3 Earth Drakes, boosting up your resistances. You have this big, beefy Shen Braum combo in the front lines trying to protect your relatively short-ranged, Ashe. Taking it now means you can take it later, hopefully.
Yeah, and getting it against Akali would be really good. She has a harder time taking out the 2 squishies, or 3 squishies. So, if they can, for whatever reason, secure the next 2 dragons and get Soul, that's so great for them. Earthdrake is also good on Boyz, but it's definitely not as good, just because they're definitely running a comp where they want the Fire Drake for sure. They want more damage, they want to explode the enemy.
I mean, even without it, they do definitely have the composition to explode the enemy. Akali, Caitlyn can be very disruptive to these team lines. Dylan's might overstay his welcome. He actually gets the scuttle, but he is sending his life for it. He's going to be forced to flash away. Here comes the teleport in. Ordinary stunned up, super low. Death Sentence not going to hit, but here comes Sai, diving into the back line, taking out everybody. Double kill already for themselves. And they are going to show out the Shuriken, but it's not enough. Lycan going to be chasing off the opposing support. Lovely. Ah, man, I don't think you are strong enough for this. You are going to get the stun, but you will get stunned up yourself. Oh, actually gets one. Okay, almost worth it. Is going to be forced to die as Luxion gets the ace in the hole onto him.
Yeah, he dies, but a small note, he totally waited just long enough for his echo shadow thing to for Thresh to be standing on it, and then he picks up the kill. So even though he dies, I liked watching that. He got the kill there. Honestly, if Caitlyn had walked just a tiny bit more forward, she might have died herself. But oh man, the game, it's, you know, they really have the right idea. Unbroken, can't the bush. It's just execution's a little off, and sometimes it looks like Boba Boyz are getting away with just these slivers of HP. Very close. It's very close.
Something to note too is that Static Cheese on this Orianna opted into the heal summoner spell without the unsealed spellbook, so it is not. There's no teleport available for the mid laner of Unbroken, and time and again we can see how effective these cross map teleports have been. Being able to change the numbers advantage, and had Sai opted for a more aggressive summoner spell, maybe like the Ignite, maybe a lot of these fights do go differently. They don't get the support in that top side early on. They don't get the support in the bottom lane when they needed it, and so because of that, Static Cheese is in a situation where he needs to spend a lot more time with his team.
Yeah, I would agree. It puts him in a position where he sort of has to always be walking between the side lane and mid lane, and that means he can't freeze the wave so that he can actually get CS. He has to keep it pushed. It puts him in very dangerous spots. It just makes the game slightly harder for him. And yeah, Sai did a really good job at utilizing teleport, constantly showing up and protecting Renekton from the 3v1s where it was pretty solid. He did a great job there. Oh, Astral not gonna live.
And this is the more typical Blade of the Ruined King Ashe, so it's not the hyper cooldown reduction builds that may have hit the YouTube scene for a minute. But because there's so much spent bottom side, this is the call to go to the Baron.
Yeah, Astral comes down. They saw 2 in the jungle down there, so they're just immediately gonna go on it.
Stelter's into the pit, Sai's back onto Kezra. There is the showstopper into the backside, trying to keep them safe. Elkin comes up, decimates the Ashe of the enemy team. They do trade 2 for 1. The Baron has been abandoned for now, but the flash hook coming in from Ordinary sacrifices himself, actually. He goes down to Static Cheese because of it. They do get the double kill for Luxion, though, and they end up trading 3 for 2 in favor of Team Boba Boyz.
Yeah, Unbroken kills Ekka or Set there, and killing the jungler is pretty good because it stops them from doing that.
Ace in the hole, not enough. Sai's on the hunt, but is able to take that shuriken back into the shadows.
Heal OP there. Gets out with the extra health and the movement speed. How lovely.
Yeah, lots of people running those keystones to make you super quick, so it works out.
Yeah, so we'll see if Lovely here can do another miracle steal. I don't know if he's gonna make it in time though. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, he's running to it. Ah, they're gonna make it.
Yeah, no, 2K. Maybe Shockwave steal?
Oh, they're waiting for Seth to get there. Ooh. Close.
Thought was there.
Yeah, yeah. However, I mean, now it's 2 Drakes to 2 Drakes. There's still 2 more dragons left before anyone gets a soul, and obviously an extra few minutes on top of that for Elders. I don't think we'll actually be getting there before the game ends. I think there's going to be one more big Baron fight, and assuming Boba Boyz here with their 8k gold lead just pull it off and win, then the game will be over. However, we've seen that their Barons are not clean, and Unbroken did a good job at stopping them from doing, and it could be interesting if they try again, or when they try again.
Considering they had already used the Enchanted Crystal Arrow bottom side, that is a big team fight tool that they didn't have. They were going for that pick. Had they had it for that, Baron fight, maybe it goes a little bit more their way and they do get an extra kill onto somebody and make it more even. They do have all 5 ultimates just about available, just waiting on the Stains United for a couple more seconds. but he's down there on the bottom side. Elkin has teleport available. There's the arrow onto Ordinary. The Showstopper not coming out just yet. Facebreaker onto 3 members, really disrupting them. Lovely Fun to get a kill here. Showstopper only on to send hooks, but it is Elkin in the back line just wrecking havoc. Is going to be able to take down one. Kezra is still alive for now, but has to be on the full retreat. Sai's going to pick that up thanks to the help of the Facebreaker. And so now this is utter destruction for Unbroken, and it is going to be a 1 for 3 in favor of Team Boba Boys, and they could fall back onto the Baron if they want.
Yeah, they definitely, I think they should for sure. They can recall here and go to Baron, or they can just, it looks like they're just going to recall and reset first. But if they're going to look for picks, if Unbroken's going to look for picks, they have to not choose Thresh or Set. Both champs just buy way too much time. Akali and Caitlyn, even Caitlyn has cleanse. Ugh, it's looking a little rough. Set may be your best choice, but Thresh is just going to buy too much time. Akali, I mean, she gets there, Renekton TP's in, gets the flank. It's a little rough. I think they're going to have to wait for Boba Boys to start Baron. I mean, you have Hawkshot, so it's not like you won't know when they're on it. And then they can go in after Baron's kind of nerf the enemy team a little bit.
And so Lovely hanging out on the field with less than 100% HP could be a bit of a hindrance if they do decide to go for the Baron right now. I do love the play coming out from Team Boba Boys, though. They recognize that Sai has teleport, whereas Elkin doesn't. And so they are sending Sai down to the bottom side, who's playing super aggressively. Already gotten Svelter dead, actually. I was going to say half HP, but he's just straight up dead.
Yeah, very well played on Sai. He landed everything, and he follows the flash with his E. He just played it very well and completely punished his craft. And now Unbroken is just going to be pressured in 2 separate areas here on Baron and bot lane.
And I can't see a world where they defend either successfully. You know, they are trying to set up a play onto the Baron right now. Elkin's flanking behind him, though, and is just going to wreak so much havoc. Send hooks goes in. Kezra's doing a lot of good damage right now. Showstopper bringing him into the backside. Lovely's going to be able to pick up one, but this beat down Boulevard bracket in the backside is just too much to deal with. You know, the Bash brothers of Dylan and Elkin, they're too big. What do you do against these two just absolute Godzilla monsters?
Elkin had such a good flank. He was hiding there in the that little tri-bush top side, waited for them to actually full-on commit to the Baron fight, and then comes up behind and absolutely wipes poor Kezra or Kezra. It was unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just so tough that the two of them are so tanky. You know, we already have this double lifesteal Renekton with the Death Stance, Blade of the Ruin King, just getting so much tankier now. You know, has the Black Cleaver building towards has the Jarmus Fist building into the... What's the other item? Why can't I remember the item?
Stern
The one that,
Stage?
yeah, that one. The one that makes it even bigger.
Yes. The big boy is going to be an even bigger boy once he finishes the item for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and look at Set's build. You know, he went for that Dead Man's Plate first, gets the extra movement speed around the map, now has a completed Gargoyle Stone Plant, so he can also take the Embiggening Juice and just become this unkillable monster.
He's so tanky. I mean, his W just on top of it is so ridiculous.
Lovely. Whew, buddy, I don't know if that's for you.
It's very close. He's definitely playing with fire there. The nerf to Set, I think it was this patch, was to try to stop tank Set from being strong, but we haven't really seen it impacted too much.
And there lands the hook onto Lovely, is going to get the Chrono Shift out into the Parallel Convergence, but in the backside, Sai is just a menace. We are going to get the Stand United, but it is not enough. Sai's still full HP. Elkin's coming in as well. Just going to be able to get onto Static Cheese. There's the big stun. Double kill for Sai. Dylan just doesn't have a care in the world. He's going to dive under tower. He's still tanking them. Gets an 8,000 HP shield from his W. The Haymaker is definitely the big swing there. And triple kill for Sai. Only one left alive is Svelter. And I think that's game.
Yeah, that'll probably be the end there. There's end through bot. Sai just gets in the back line. He completely 1v3s them. They never stood a chance. The Ashe ult completely misses. Poor Braum ult goes wide. And it's not looking good for them. Akali is very, very swift.
Felter is trying to make something happen. Doesn't have any magic resist though, so he's just going to get annihilated by Sai, who's spending time on to Kezra. But that is going to be game 1 of this best of 3 series going over to Team Boba Boys.
Yeah, and I gotta say they look a little outclassed sometimes. If I think that game looks a lot different if we play towards the strong sides instead of the Shen. But man, if they play like that again, it's gonna be a tough one for sure. It's gonna be a tough series.
It's definitely tough to see this type of top lane difference. You know, you have the Shen, who is, you know, supposed to be able to survive the Renekton sort of 3-10-5 versus his direct lane opponent 11-0-11. I'm wondering if we do see because the teams are swapping sides now for game 2. I wonder if we see more focus on a potential counter pick to keep Svelter safe, or if we do see Alkin just continue to dominate that lane.
Yeah, I mean, I'd actually like to see them. Yeah, go for the counter pick. Go for the counter pick, and I want to see the 1v1 a little more balanced 1v1 at least. Shen obviously doesn't really want to fight Renekton. He just wants to farm and then ult down into the other areas of the fight, TP back, get pressure kind of in that manner. And then match Renekton later on when he's got his items and not really want to fight early. But I mean, if they don't want to play that style, if they really do want to put so much resources into top, then yeah, I mean, put them on a carry champion, counter pick the top lane, put them on a carry champ, and send all your resources top, and kind of do the same thing that Boyz did to them, Boba Boyz did to them.
All right, folks, and we are going to take a short break while we set up game number 2 for you. Right now, the series is 1-0 in favor of Team Boba Boys, so stay tuned. We'll see if they can close it out 2-0, or if we will get Unbroken thirsting for the hunt for their first season win. And we'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, everybody, to the Risen Esports Dominate Premade Week 4 matchup between Team Boba Boys and Unbroken. Once again, it is Doctor and Dougie J in the caster booth, bringing you all of the sweet League of Legends action. And the two teams have gone ahead and swapped sides. Now, Dougie, do we see a different draft phase, at least ban-wise?
I don't think Boba Boys need to change their draft. They won, right? If it ain't broke. But I'd like to see Unbroken switch some things up for sure. They don't need to ban top laners because you can opt for the counter pick, which it looks like. Yeah, I mean, these are the same bans. So it doesn't look like they're changing much. Maybe they end up picking the exact same thing. Ashe is open. They could pick that same thing in the Caitlyn if they wanted to. I don't think it would hurt. I think they actually could have matched. Ooh, the Thresholder is pretty spicy.
Oh, and it's locked in. I do think the Caitlyn is the stronger pick. Like, me personally, I know it's a handshake for a reason, but I feel like if you have the option to first pick Caitlyn, you should do it. And now they're walking into Morgana.
People have gotten used to Ashe ults and playing around Ashe. You know, there's so many things you can take now, and most people actually take them, which is I think the big difference, right? Like you can't take anything to really stop Caitlyn autos early on. She's just gonna auto you to death, and there's not much you can do. But Ashe, the ult is such a large part of her kit that the second the enemy takes cleanse, is like, okay, well now what do I do? You know, like you just can't do anything. Like the champ becomes a lot more useless compared to Caitlyn. So I think that's a big difference.
Yeah, we're starting to see a build come out from the Caitlyn that kind of negates a lot of, you know, her mid game woes. You know, people are so used to the Caitlyn going like Infinity Edge, Zeal, Zerkers, and you hit this trough of damage. But now we're seeing people go like Storm Razors, BF, Berserkers, like IE, and you just chunk so hard that it's, like you said, it's so incredibly hard to deal with because the enemy AD carry, it's not like they're gonna first item Bramble Vest. Like
Right.
they don't have an option to not get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, consistency for Caitlyn. The reason you pick Caitlyn versus the reason you pick Ashe, it's completely different, right? Like Ashe, you want the CC. For Caitlyn, you want the damage. And unfortunately, you can counter CC. Can't always counter damage. Or at least it's squishies. It's a hard time. But we do get the set again, which is pretty nice. I think the set was such a huge impact in that first game. So I'm happy that they ended up picking up again. I'm surprised Unbroken let it go through, but I guess the Kindred is scarier. Galio banned out again.
We do get a change though. We are seeing the Renekton Wukong banned away this time, and it looks like Boba Boy's last ban is going to be that Pike, even though Thresh was already picked.
Maybe mid lane, maybe even top. I mean,
That
I don't
top
know.
lane Pike, scary.
yeah, it is. It's pretty scary. Sure, there's someone in EU running around doing it. I did expect him to pick a tank though with the Renekton Wukong bans. It screams I want to play a tank. So not that surprising. I do think it's kind of detrimental when you're taking such one of the biggest tanks in the game into set because you know you're just amplifying his damage. But maybe he'll have an easier time on that champ. Shen was left open. And he didn't take it, so I guess we're done with that.
It is curious that they're choosing to give the counter pick to the mid laner though. You know, I don't know if Static Cheese was stellar enough in game one to afford them that. I feel like you want to loosen the pressure on, you know, the lane that was hit hardest, which was that top side. You know, it really seemed like Svelter had a difficult time dealing with that Renekton. He's getting a bit of a break though because they picked Ornn in the top side, so he really doesn't have to worry about too much now.
I definitely think the latter end of this draft went a little awry in terms of how they're picking. I don't know if you knew that the Nico was going bot, but it definitely took me a second to figure it out.
Until this very last pick of the Cassiopeia, I did not think it was a bot lane. So
maybe not. Maybe it's gonna go mid, and this pick here, this Yone or Cassiopeia would go bot. But yeah, I mean, definitely throwing them for a loop too. I kind of would like to see Nico go bot lane here because Morgana Caitlyn is really oppressive into Thresh Yone.
I don't think you even play League of Legends at that point. I think Yone is just so shut out from existing that I don't know. Do they hard lane swap? Do they just send Sion bot level 1, send like Thresh Yone top into Ornn and just like, no guys, just let us farm. We'll meet together in mid lane around like, you know, 15, 20 minutes for that first dragon.
Yeah, I wish I had an answer for you. I have no idea. I think Nico is the, I want to say best pick to send down there, but yeah, I mean, if you totally want to opt to send Nico into one of the other lanes and Yone into a better matchup, that would probably be good. Take the L bot because someone's gonna have to. Caitlyn Morgana is just so oppressive, and I don't actually think any of these champs going down there is gonna change that at all. So, it's looking rough.
I mean, we did see a hard lane swap. I believe it was an LCK last week, and I just remember LS just railing on it because he's like, it's not good anymore. Like, don't do this. But I feel like if you took these two drafts and you're trying to figure out a way how to make Unbroken's draft work, I think the option is do a hard lane swap, send Sion bottom. Because if you think about it, Caitlyn Morg is going to just thrash whoever you send down there, and it's just going to take plate after plate after plate. And so if you try and counter that, you're still going to lose plate after plate after plate. But if you send your bot lane, top lane into Ornn, he's still going to wave clear you into oblivion. But the thought process is that, you know, you just don't feed the Caitlyn, I guess.
Yeah, I think we also saw it on G2. Did it? It was a couple weeks ago, but they did the same thing. They lane swapped, and it turned the game into quite the fiasco. But I think it ended up working out for him. So I mean, it could be the move here, and maybe it'll pan out for him. But definitely shake things up and make things a little more even. But I would opt into getting Yone into the strongest lane for him possible. You just want to get him ahead, get him to his item spikes, and then just completely play around him.
Yeah. Now, Yone, obviously the newest champion to the league, has only been out for 2 weeks now. Initially, I wasn't sold on the champion. I thought he was a worse version of Yasuo and didn't really seem to have a place. I've since changed that. The dude's busted. He's so strong.
Yeah, you know what? I'm on the same page. When he first came out, I saw him a little bit. I was like, his champ's kind of whatever. I can see him being strong at certain points, but I've seen people do really well on him, and he's actually kind of scary at a lot of different points in the game. So if Static Cheese can pull this off, I mean, he could just 1v9. You know, he could totally sweep the opponent.
Do we even know it's Static Cheese playing it yet? All right, so we do. So it is the Nico bot. Lovely once again on the Echo Jungle, and I don't know. I do think outside of the Nico bottom, the Victor's actually the most interesting pick to me because it's been seeing a lot of gription. You know, it's been coming up into not necessarily the competitive scene, but at least in the solo queue scene, a lot of people are playing it now. You know, they're running Ghost on it as well. It's very difficult to get away from him. So it's a fun little pick. It should just absolutely blast Yone in the early game.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me because Nico bot, it's odd, but I don't think it's going to be that successful.
No, I mean, I would take Caitlyn and Morgana over both of them over Nico. Morgana's pretty good into Nico, and so is Caitlyn. So, I mean, she's just going to be under tower most of the time.
But so now, the other thing is, do you build on-hit attack speed Nico, or do you build full AP Nico? Because when you look at the rest of your squad, you have Sion, which does AD damage, kind of. Yone, AD damage. Echo Jungle, which is AP, but kind of struggles, I feel, to get to assassin level. So, like, I think you need to go full AP.
The move is lethality Sion and AP Nico. You know, that's the move.
Okay. I would believe that, especially into Ornn. You know, if you cheese out an early kill, you know, potentially you get rolling there. But I mean, we are going to have to just wait and see what these two teams decide to do. We are going to be taking a short break, folks. Stay tuned as we set up game 2 between Team Boba Boyz and Team Unbroken to see if Unbroken can get their first W on the board. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're loaded into the Rift for Team Boba Boys versus Unbroken Game 2. The teams have swapped sides, and we do have a bit of an interesting draft phase, to say the least. We do have some good luck, have funs in the chat, though, so you can definitely tell the teams are having fun with it. And realistically, isn't that all that matters, Dougie?
Oh yeah, of course. We got some ooh-woos and some hearts too, so it's a nice friendly atmosphere. Ironically, though, both teams out for blood. The level 1 invade, top and bot. But yeah, nice friendly atmosphere. Oh, red team actually gonna get the advantage here because they'll get vision down, and unfortunately,
I say you just stay here. Go for the kill.
oh yeah, for sure. We have the fresh, we have the scion. Oh no, they're walking out. Walk back, go back. No. All right.
They didn't even ward. They didn't even ward.
Oh no, this advantage blown.
Check W.
Okay, well, that sucks, but maybe next time. The biggest thing here is going to be the Yone matchup. It'll be fun to watch.
That is definitely tough. It does look like Dylan is going to have the solo top lane start as well.
Yeah, blue buff can be done solo by most champions. It slows things down just a tad, not getting a leash, but it can hide where you're starting, which is usually pretty good. And he did a good job with that last game. It paid out for him, so if it does again here, then...
He actually finishes buff first, too. Considering that Lovely had a leash, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Blue buff is actually easy to take. I don't know why, but Trundle can do it by himself. Seth can do it by himself. Olaf can do both by himself, but obviously prefer the blue buff.
I like to see the Trundle play where level 1, you just take the opponent's offside buff and you just solo it because you're Trundle. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to die to a jungle camp. And if you do, you kind of did something wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Static Cheese. Doing some good damage.
It's a really good damage. Trade. Yeah, that was a very well played. He lands everything. You get that bonus damage from the E there. It looks really good.
Maybe there's hope yet.
Yeah, who knows?
We did see a binding land down in the bottom side on to Kezra, though, who is piloting this Nico, which I said in a draft is super interesting. I honestly can't remember the last time we saw a Nico bottom, if at all.
Victor forced to burn flash. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Dylan Wang is going to get ignited, does have the massive shield to go along with it, though. Static Shield gets abandoned by Lovely. Does get the knock up onto Sai. However, the ward in the bush means it is first blood over to Sai. Lovely has red buff, though, so no escape there. Trade 1-for-1.
It was quite the bloody 2v2. All summoners burned by everyone there. Dylan makes it out with the tiniest sliver of health, doing a really good job at holding Facebreaker until the last second.
Lovely's gonna get some help in the mid lane by his own shield. Dylan, though, getting chunked by that Dark Harvest.
Yeah, that was a little scary. Trying to help his mid laner out, I appreciate it. Freezing the wave. Unfortunately, though, it crashes. It's gonna bounce back, and I expect we'll see another 2v2 the second that wave hits in the middle.
Oh, oh no.
Oh, no. Huh.
Did Lovely run Dark Harvest last game, too? I honestly don't remember.
I think he did.
Okay. Because it does make sense. It does work out quite well. Dylan's hanging around with 4 HP and a Dream. Definitely has some camps he should be doing, I feel. I don't know. This is a toughie, Dougie. I don't know exactly what to look for in this type of game because the matchups across the board, outside of topside, are a bit abnormal.
Yeah, so you can see this much early game aggression is going in favor of Dylan and in favor of Cheese because Set is going to want to duke it out early. It's very strong early. And Echo kind of wants to farm. Oh wow, everyone is fighting everywhere. I love it. But Echo usually wants to farm a bit for till 6. However, he did take Dark Harvest, and he's gotten decent stacks, so, you know, it pays off for both of them.
We do still see farm pretty much even across the board. Surprisingly, the biggest deficits are mid and bot in favor of Team Unbroken.
Yeah.
Which is not what I was expecting. You know, it is arranged into a melee matchup and then a Caitlyn into a ranged matchup. And, you know, I don't know, Caitlyn's super good right now.
Well, wave crashed, so she's up by 2. But I expected, you know, same as you, just a higher deficit in favor of Caitlyn. But Nico actually holding their own bot. Perhaps it was because of the gank pressure, alleviating some of that Caitlyn Morgana menace combo. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe they actually overpower that lane.
Some good damage going the way of Sai. Send hooks though, saying hello. Hey, what's up? Is going to land onto the stun. They actually both do. Early teleport coming out gets canceled, however. And so now Svelter trapping his direct lane opponent. We might finally see Elkin die. Can he get a kill first, though? The answer is not likely. Lovely finally slaying the Croc King in the top side. And more summoner spells being burned.
Yeah, that fight was, the mid lane was really close. If Elkin's TP actually goes through there, that maybe they kill Cheese. But either way, Boba boys pick up the Drake and walk out for it. And they pick up the kill top, so good for them.
Static Cheese is about to become Swiss. We do see Dylan giving up on the attempt, however, but it should lead into some plate pressure in the mid lane.
Yeah, he's getting punished for picking the champ. He's gonna get chunked out. He's getting camped. It's quite unfortunate, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, getting camped is kind of the name of the game. You do set yourself up for it in the ranged melee matchup. I'm surprised we haven't seen as much gank pressure in the bot side, though. You know, we saw how, you know, Turmoil? I don't know. They're getting damage down. Ordinary's forced to flash out with the Ignite. Here comes the help, though. Send hooks. Oh, no. Kezra's forced to flash out to Ace in the hole. Gonna get blocked up by hooks. And everybody survives.
Wow, it's slightly misplayed on Caitlyn's part. She eat a minion there instead of the Nico. If she had just stayed in auto, it might have looked a little differently.
Lovely. Dashes into the stun. Elkin not going to be able... Oh, he actually does get the goat off, but it goes on astray. And now we see Static Cheese with the clever kill steal. Going to be getting his first kill of the game.
Yes, and we gotta make sure he gets ahead here, get some gold in his belt. I don't think it's bad that he got the kill. I'd like to see him 1v1 Victor at least once at some point, and he is a big source of their damage, 80 damage. So he is gonna need the gold, but yeah, his roam pays off.
Oh, okay. Good damage once again on the side. The ultimate is available. Big damage. It's gonna be enough. Static Cheese winning the 1v1 for the first time all series.
Very
Actually,
well.
that's
played.
a lie. I lied. He did get the solo kill game 1. I apologize, Cheese. I was completely wrong on that one.
It's okay. He gets them both. He gets a solo kill in that game. He gets a solo kill in this game. Yone is looking pretty good so far. I was questioning a little early, but you know now he roams up, gets the kill, comes back, fully combos Victor and gets the kill, and it's gonna start to look a little dicey for Sai here in the mid lane. With Victor or with Yone backing with this much gold on his belt. He's got 1300. He's gonna recall. Get Zeal. It's not looking good. We might actually have a good series here. Kind of hype.
Yeah, we do see the Herald going down as well. Once again, going over to Lovely. I'm curious where they decide to use that. I am also curious with how much time Send Hooks is spending outside of the lane. This is like his third roam mid. They are going to get big... They're actually just full sending it. But the Victor's known for being a wave cleared champion, and I think they forgot.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the best play for the Herald would have been. Maybe top?
Binding doesn't work.
No, close.
Facebreaker also whiffs.
Scuttle Crab gonna be able to make it out, maybe.
Scuttle Crab, run! I believe in you.
Unfortunate. 1v3 is always unfair. What are you gonna do?
Poor river creatures.
Bullied. That's pretty big. It's pretty big that Victor's I forget what the W is called, but it's pretty big that sound gravity field. Thank you. His Yone's ult is coming up. He can actually look to all in here. We'll see if he does. Let's get 16 seconds at least off of it.
The W shield there from Yone, not enough to break out of that empowered punch on the Q. Flash in. We do see Lovely joining in the team fight. There's lots of CC coming down across the map. Svelter is in danger of losing that 1v1. We do see the Pop Blossom go off. Dylan Wang, though, big damage with that face breaker. Showstopper trying to keep himself alive, too. Not quite enough. The hook just barely not going to connect. And Svelter lived, I believe. Lovely, however, will not.
Oh no!
Oh no! Sai gets trapped under the tower, flashes away, and Static still wins the 1v1, going on a killing spree. Svelter, checking the bush, interrupts the recall.
What a bloody minute and a half. Static there. I don't know if Victor was watching the bot lane fight like us or what, but gets completely caught off guard on the Yone damage, and he ends up dying. He got the wave shift in. He could have just backed, but I don't know. Dreed for some damage on the tower. I think he was watching bot lane.
I mean, that bot lane fight was pretty ridiculous. We do see the flash forward from Dylan, able to secure the kill onto Kezra. Haymaker once again showing how balanced of an ability it is. You love to see it. And now with the second Drake on the board is the Ocean, which means we could potentially get the Earth Drake once again. Dylan saying, hey, hello, what's up to the opposing mid laner. Gravity Field not going to be enough to deter them. Haymaker keeps them alive for just a second longer. Static Cheese picking up a kill once again. 4-1-1 now on this Yone pick.
It's looking good. It's looking good. He's doing a great job. I can't say anything bad. He's been playing it really well. He's killed Victor twice now. He's secured kills on the set and the Ornn, I think. So he's doing a really good job. But it's gonna be Ocean Drake over to Unbroken and Cloud Soul. Not the most exciting to watch, but we'll see. Hopefully we get to Soul, I think, this game.
The thing is, the Cloud Soul benefits Unbroken so well. Like, when you think about what their champions do as ultimate abilities and how they interact with the bonus move speed after the soul, like they get so much out of it. The Yone, popping the ultimate, getting in the middle of everybody and being able to move around that much faster, popping the pop blossom to get in and, hopefully hit multiple targets. They get so much out of it. I would love to see them actually be able to pick it up this game.
That's true. It'll be pretty interesting. However, I do love it. I love fire, so I love watching people go boom. My favorite thing to watch. Oh, Victor getting a very positive trade there. Has to use his ult.
Yeah, it is more of a zoning ultimate, making sure that Yone is forced to back. We do see some ward clearing coming in from Lovely, trying to make sure everybody's safe. Hook gonna go a bit wide. Turret plating no longer a thing. Sai taking some good damage. Lovely though, not willing to dive the tower just yet.
I love the attention he's put towards
he went back in, the madman! The Yone ultimate connecting as well is gonna get the kill. He hops all the way back to his body. And Static 1-1, 500 gold shutdown on this Yone. Dylan now stuck between a rock and a sharp place. He's gonna get flayed back into Sai. Showstopper out. Static is not gonna survive. Shutdown to the haymaker.
Dylan on this set is scary, man. He's very scary guy. He gets a shutdown. That's gonna put him I don't know, back in the game. It feels like he never left. But it's pretty good. Watching his set is always entertaining.
Set as a champion quite literally is the embodiment of he can't keep getting away with it. Like every time that haymaker pops and you get this 4,000 HP shield, it hurts to watch me physically.
Sure, I think it's the anticipation though, that knowing it's gonna come out. It's like, oh, when is he gonna use it? Like how much damage is it gonna do? It makes it really fun to watch.
It's always all the damage.
All the damage, even though he's built 2 tank items.
It's worked for him twice now. We do see Lovely trying to help out his top laner. The stun is going to cancel the GOAT, and Lovely is going to take that kill for himself. We are going to see some pressure here in the top side. I would like to see them go for the Herald, and that seems to be the play.
Yeah, possible dive bot lane. He's in position for it. They back off though, so it's pretty good. Trade for Herald. I think they get bot tower here.
Which is almost a foregone conclusion, right? Like we talked about, the potential side effects of this Caitlyn Morgana bot lane. You pretty much lose the tower regardless of what you pick at this stage of the meta. So to actually get an objective out of it in the form of the Herald, super worth. And even then, the tower's still standing. Herald's down, tower's still up.
Yeah, they are repositioning to defend that tower too, using that Yone pressure to come down and defend the tower. So there's no loss for them. I mean, they get the Herald basically for free.
Yeah, Lovely's going to try and win this 1v1 against Sai. Forces the flash. Sai is not getting to play League of Legends this game.
Poor guy. Poor guy. I mean, Yone's going to come back here and... Oh, no.
Trades ultimate for ultimate and gets the exhaust, so Lovely by himself has gotten both summoner spells out of the opposing mid laner, and Dylan Wang does have some armor, so he's not super afraid of Static just yet.
Yeah, something tells me even without the armor, he wouldn't have played that as if he was afraid. Lovely's doing a very good job at playing around mid, and making sure that Static's pressure is just felt against Sire, for sure. They're going to be able to use that, translate it into the Drake, possibly towers.
So back and forth.
I keep pausing because I'm expecting... I don't know what I'm expecting, but it's just them trading HP.
Expecting something to happen. Oh, here comes the play onto Luxion. They are going to get the flay into the box. Just barely enough damage coming through from Kezra to pick up the kill. And so already picking out champions. Huge wave going to be crashing onto that bot lane tower as well. With the Rift Heralds, they're really sending it for this first brick. And I do like this play much better than what we saw in game one. They should also be able to get the Cloud Drake on top of this.
Yeah, they're doing an excellent job at playing around their strengths and not their weaknesses this game, and it's paying out for them. I mean, they get the Herald, they're gonna get the second Drake here, or they're gonna get a second Drake here. They're not playing around their top lane tank anymore, and I mean, you can tell how pointless the 1v1 tops are. It's not gonna translate into anything. So keeping the Yone ahead, keeping their bot lane in the game, is really paying off for them. If they continue this style, this should keep the game very interesting.
Play lands onto Dylan Wang. Nobody took the lantern over the wall though, so this is a bit of a scary proposition. None of the CC is going to connect onto Dylan Wang. Here comes the Yone though. Huge damage onto Luxion. Showstopper into only one. He is going to be able to get the first kill onto Kezra and get out in Doom. Meanwhile, in the rest of the team fight, we do see Static Cheese getting stunned up. Elkin finally popping himself back into the rest of the team fight. But Sai now on the run as a lonely man is going to go down. There is no second tower there to keep him safe. All in all, a 1-for-4 in favor of Unbroken. And this is not the same team we saw last game.
No, Shu is completely on the other foot here. I mean, if you switch the nameplates around, I wouldn't have been able to tell that they're a different team. That's crazy. It's good. I like that they put him on this champ, and I like that they camped him and they got him a lead, and it's paying out for them. I like that a lot. I think that's really good. I'd want to continue. I want to see this style continue. The only thing they need to do now is stick Yone in a side lane, keep the camp, keep the support and the jungler like shadowing him, and just force the lead and end the game. Like it'll be great. We have Baron coming up here in 3 seconds. I do think they need to knock down top tower before they go for it. Having the top tower up before going for Baron can make things kind of hard because it gives an entry point for the enemy team to come in on, and a safe point for them to hide to if they were not doing Baron and just baiting. So
now here's a question to determine my next statement. Do you consider Victor upgrades as completed items?
Maybe 75% of a completed item.
Okay, no, that's perfectly true because we do have him on his third upgrade version. That is the perfect core now. So if we're counting it as 75, he's at 1.5 items, or sorry, 2.25 items essentially. Whereas when you look at his direct lane opponent of Static Cheese's Yone, he's got the Phantom Dancer, he's got the Infinity Edge, and a Berserker Greaves. That's effectively 2.5 items as well. But for much more money. I mean, the upgraded Victor is only like a 4K golden, I think, all said and done. I just played the champion. I can't remember exactly.
They still very clearly have item spikes, right? Victor and Caitlyn. Caitlyn's only on her first item. She's gonna get her second one.
Here comes the Orin Horn. Will not get the option to send it back out, though. And we do see Spelter finally getting to live that big tank life he wanted so very much to play in the first game.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised Elkin picked a tank. They had this set up there for the counter matchup, the Silent, but he picks the Ornn, and I don't want to say he's getting punished for it, but...
Oh. We do see Lovely trading 1-for-1. Massive shield on the Haymaker, but it is simply not enough when the rest of the team shows up. Dylan Wang goes down to Lovely's killing spree. Ordinary getting knocked up as well. The flash forward from Spelter's not enough, though. They do need a little bit more. Can he turn it around and stay alive? The answer is yes, because he's Scion. Does Scion ever die, truly? And 1 for 0 in favor of Unbroken, and with it being the jungler, that should be the Baron going over quite successfully.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Boyz are going to contest it all. At this point, I think if you're Boyz, you really want to wait for Victor to get some more items under his belt. Caitlyn still just the Infinity Edge and BF Sword. You really need her on her next item. It's looking rough, but you still have some towers left. You just licked the turtle. Probably give up this next dragon. There's no way you really want to look to contest it, and hope that Victor and Caitlyn can carry you late game.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with giving up the next dragon. It's only soul point. It's not, the end of the world. If you do give it over, then you just have to hope that you are these big, scary monsters by the time the next dragon comes up. So you're giving yourself effectively, a 6-minute timer at this point. And because it is Cloud Soul, it's really not that game changing, right? Like it's not even like you truly need, well, do you need to fight for Cloud Soul? It's not like it's Inferno Soul that just like spikes your damage. You just get some, bonus moves.
Yeah, Cloud Soul has the lowest win rate of all the souls. It's got the lowest win rate of all the dragons too, at almost any stage. So it is what it is, right? I would like to see Unbroken not even. Yeah, I want to see him just pressure lanes. I don't want to see him just immediately go for the Drake. I should use the Baron, pressure the towers, and then just.
Hookland Victor gets the Bramblethorn as well. He's not dead just yet. Pop Blossom getting popped onto just one member. Static Cheese coming over the wall, but this is an odd-numbered fight. Huge damage coming out from Dylan Wang. All of the damage dealers from Unbroken are dead, done, and dusted. And so now they're trying to keep the fight alive, but I don't think this is the play, Chief. I definitely think this is the disengage needed. They are still continuing to chase. Lovely going to get knocked up. Dylan Wang ready, willing to fight. Does land the two-man facebreaker. Still alive somehow. He does get his second haymaker of the fight. He goes down. Lovely's making sure that they are not getting out of this safely. Stelter doesn't have the ultimate available, but holy moly, what was that Dark Harvest damage? He's going to do it again. The Madman's going to do it again. Double kill for Lovely, and they're just running face first into him. Lovely with the triple kill, and that should not have happened.
No, not at all. That was definitely a salvage play, and while they end up getting the ace, there's a lot of time lost that they could have spent just taking the towers, and part of that happened just because Lovely wanted to get the dragon, and the rest of them were setting up for.
They still get an inhibitor. They still get an inhibitor.
Yeah, they get a lot out of it. Death timer is starting to ramp up. Oh wow, they might actually get another tower.
Dylan Wang is not ready to give it up yet. Facebreaker lands onto Lovely, and I think that is the call to disengage. Death sentence onto just a poor lonely minion. And the call to re-engage has come through now that Static's showing up. Gets a two-man ultimate and locks up everybody, but it's just not enough. Lovely, the main damage dealer of the game, is too low to continue. Here comes the choo-choo train, though. All right, he canceled it early. Okay.
I like it.
I was afraid there for a second. I was like, oh no, it's just gonna keep on going.
Yeah, I was too. It's a good 3 minutes worth of fighting there, maybe even longer. Oh no. Okay, so.
All right, break it down. They got an inhibitor. They got half damage on a tower. They got their third dragon. Is Unbreakable or Unbroken still superior? Are they still on the right track right now?
The gold. Look at the gold lead. It's not that bad. It's a lot smaller. Yeah, that's part of the problem was that inting they did earlier. Their early setup, they gave up a lot of shutdown. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to determine. I actually don't think they're as ahead as it seems. Victor has both summons now. Caitlyn's flash is down. This is a little unfortunate, but Morgana's got Black Shield. So I think if Yone or Echo misplays, those two, one of them just misplays, this fight, the game can go in the opposite direction quite quickly. So, it's a little misleading. It's a little misleading how it looks right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, we're starting to see Orin items come into play. It's level 13. I believe level 14 is the first time you get to give one to your teammate. And with that Infinity Edge completed onto Caitlyn, that's definitely going to be, this where you want to shove that too. And each of these items upgrades is about 1k, right, worth of stats. So, I mean, with him already having, oh no, Ordinary does force the Black Shield himself, but the fight is on. Here comes the big goat. Meanwhile, on the mid side, Dylan Wang is trying to 1v2, but he's tanky. He's fine. I was going to say he's not that tanky, but he actually is that tanky. We do see the Unstoppable coming out onto Static Cheese, who dies in his ghost form. Gets traded on for Svelter, though. The Flay canceling the tackle forward by the Ornn. The shield coming through. Another Haymaker, but the damage from Lovely is massive! And now Luxion, trying to keep the game alive, is going to go down to send Hooks' Thresh And I think that's the game?
Yes, it looks like that's going to be game. I may have misread the gold numbers there. It was not a 2K difference. It was a 12K difference.
I didn't say 12K. I thought you took that.
I just missed it. Anyways, the results.
Oh, lovely! What are you doing? Just finish the game, you madman!
It's about asserting dominance. You know, that's what this is about. You have to assert dominance. All right.
I mean,
so this is great. Game 3, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely consider dominance asserted there from Unbroken. It's just, it's absurd. That was not the same team as game 1 in the slightest.
They looked way more confident. They had, I don't know if they had a game plan, but their game plan actually worked out. They camp the mid lane, they get the Yone ahead, they play around the Yone in the team fights. He really makes the champ look amazing. He played really well on it.
He did less damage than Sion.
That's true. I do think he still played really well. The fights that he was in, he showed up to the fights. He did significantly kill. Or his kills were more significant, I think, than Sion.
I am memeing a bit by when saying that he did less damage to Sion, because if you think about it, you know, he's killing targets that only have like 12 to 1400 HP. Svelter on the Sion is killing a target that has like 4k HP. So it is a little bit of a meme. But
yeah, they were duking out a lot top. There was a lot of fighting top that we did get to see, and then we also didn't get to see, right? But no, I mean, Sion was really impactful too. I just think that as if they didn't have Yone, the fight probably looks, or the game looks a lot different, right? Like, he definitely was a good source of damage. Obviously, Lovely, like, he is always just popping off. I don't know, all throughout that game, he's just constantly applying damage and one-shotting people with his Dark Harvest. He probably was a little understated by us, honestly. He had a lot of team fight impact and was a big reason Yone even got those solo kills mid sometimes, right? So
definitely. And so we're gonna have to see if the ban phase changes up for game number 3. We are gonna take a short break, guys, while we get the teams ready and get them away from their coaches, who are definitely shaking their heads after that one. We are gonna head into game 3 between Team Boba Boyz and Unbroken. We are gonna see if Unbroken can pick up their first season win. Stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Risen Esports Dominate Premade Week number 4 matchup between Team Boba Boyz and Unbroken. The two teams are 1-1 currently. I'm the Doctor, being joined by Dougie J as my color, and you have a big task ahead of you, man, because you have to explain to me how we find ourselves now in this game 3.
You know, I think Unbroken may have caught them off guard with the Yone pick. I think maybe that was it, and maybe they haven't answered this game. I don't know. There's a lot of maybes, but we'll see what happens this game. Yone goes unbanned, so, you know, maybe Unbroken wants to take it again. I would not be opposed to that.
Although now they have the opportunity to get the counter if you're Team Boba Boys. Unbroken, though, going with that Thresh first pick, it was also their first pick last game, so maybe that's the difference maker.
Yeah, it's I mean, it is a good pick just by itself, and it kind of hides their draft a little bit. They did use it to hide their draft last game, and get some counter pick set up. So maybe they're doing the same thing here. They are blue side, so it's gonna be either way. They're Boba Boys are gonna get at least one, but it hides their picks here a little longer, and maybe they have something else up their sleeve besides the Nico Yone run. So let's see what happens.
They are giving up the Caitlyn once again, though. Do we see the Morgana? I don't think the Morgana was super impactful last game, and it seems like Boba Boys agree. They are opting into the Nautilus, much more of a point and click style champion. His dredge line, obviously, point and click. The depth charge, point and click. The auto attack, point and click. It's a very simple champion.
Yeah, more dive potential too if Fresh wants to look to roam. Ooh, we get a Lilia pick. Lots of both new champs making an appearance today, huh? Oh, nice.
I actually love the Lilia pick. It brings so much to the table. It's not super explored, I feel. And the champion was super overshadowed by the Yone release so shortly after. So it's a champion that is going to take some time to really start spiking into pro play. It is banned for like LCS and LEC playoffs, I believe.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I believe. I know Yone is. I'm not sure about Lilia. I may be speaking out of my
I remember Dardoch played Lilia, but I don't know if that was a playoff game. I know I saw Lilia get picked. I think it was in the LPL. But again, I don't know. I don't remember if that was a playoff game. I know she's been sprinkled in pro play already. Yone has yet to be seen. I'm pretty sure, but a nice little Kled pick there, blinding it.
So that was actually one of my picks to watch. That is a fairly often picked Elkin champion. And looking at the rest of the draft, it fits so well. Using that charge to just get in the backline there. Nautilus is going to love it. He's going to be able to follow that up with so much crowd control. Lily is just like Speed Racer on her own. So to add a charge into that, she's just going to be like instant transmissioning throughout the entire Rift.
Yeah, they are not hiding their team fight objective at all. They're gonna run you down, and Lily's gonna run around you. Kled's gonna run you down, and Lily's gonna run around you, and that's just how it's gonna be. However, Yone picked up again. They really like that pick. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mordekaiser being the answer to Kled.
I don't like that. It does give Boba Boys the counter pick to Yone. Kind of had to do that. There's no way to avoid giving that counter pick over. And so I wonder what Boba Boys do have in the kit. I do think Syndra's actually a pretty good pick. Every time he tries to send out his ghost, you just scatter the weak him away. And so you don't have to deal with the ghost as much. It looks like LeBlanc actually off of the ban phase for the first time, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad pick. A lot of really good early game, and lots of mobility. Two things that, usually make Yasuo cry, and I imagine Yone plays out the same way. So this is going to be a little more interesting because Victor isn't in the game, and these two mid laners actually want to bump heads. I imagine that we're going to see the exact same thing from the last game, where it's the 2v2 mid, and now that we have a better early game champion with LeBlanc, things may sway in the opposite direction.
Yeah, LeBlanc doesn't have to spend money on essentially wasted items or subpar items, I guess, in the form of the upgrades. Is going to be able to pick up that Ludens pretty quickly. Might struggle super early with wave clearing, but also Yone, before he gets an item, doesn't wave clear super effectively either.
Yeah.
The biggest issue I see personally is this top side. Last game, it was kind of easy to hide the matchup behind tanks. Now, this time, we do have some pretty swingy top laners.
Yeah. you know, it's not a wasted resource if either of these jungles go top and sway the lane. I think it'd be really good because Mordekaiser, obviously not the winner in this matchup at the start, but I mean, if you just excel him into the lane, Kled, when put behind, kind of is not a champ. He really wants to get a lead and he wants to run it down the enemy's throat. So if for whatever reason that is stunted, that top lane matchup can actually not look good for him. However, I would give it to Kled in the early game, for sure.
Yeah, I mean the champion does kind of have some tools to really invalidate the Mordekaiser matchup. You know, he has the built-in Grievous Wounds in his kit. He has a crowd control. He has a movement ability to, you know, potentially dodge out on some grass moving and dying and stuff like that. That's not the name of the key. I can't remember. And so, I mean, I think 6 is kind of going to be the big differential, because Mordekaiser are trying to bring Kled into the Death Realm. If Kled's even or even slightly ahead, I feel that Mordekaiser just loses at that point. And if he loses at 6, Mordekaiser also isn't a champion when he falls behind.
True.
So it's very difficult to see a world in which Mordekaiser solo comes out ahead. He's really going to need that Echo's assistance. And I think Boba Boyz should be well aware of that.
Yeah, the difference maybe is that Mord can like nullify a champ for a little bit, right? In a team fight, if someone does get ahead, he just points. Even if he's opting into death, he points his hammer thing and takes them into the death realm and says, "You can kill me, but you're not going to be an impact in the team fight." So, haha, buddy. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think we have a lot of action in almost every lane. Actually, yeah, in every lane, there should be some fighting. So it's going to be a fun game.
It is super interesting to see how these two teams play out. This is game 3, folks. Both teams have won a match already tonight. Unbroken are in the hunt for their first season win. They are currently 0-3 against the 1-2 of Team Boba Boyz. This is their chance to do it. This is their chance to get on the board. So stay tuned as we head to a short break while these two teams load into the Rift, and we will see if Unbroken can finally break that win seal and smell victory. Here we are, folks. Final game, final round between Unbroken and Team Boba Boys. This is the Risen Dominate Premade Week 4 matchup. Doctor and Dougie J bringing you that sweet, sexy League of Legends action. And now it is do or die time for these two teams. Winner take all in this best of one, essentially. And I don't know anymore. These two drafts are still just throwing me for a loop.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know. I'd love to hear some behind the scenes thinking. Nice early trading here, level 1.
Dylan Wang, though, finally on something not set related. Lovely's going to get ignited. Should be going down here. First blood over to Sai. Once again on these assassins. And that's scary. That's
probably worst case scenario. The kill goes on LeBlanc. She's yeah. First kill's on her. She's gonna have a lot of pressure mid already without the kill, and on top of the kill. I do like that Lovely didn't like rando flash, so he still has that tool.
Already a Dark Seal onto Sai. Gonna be looking to feast off of his opponents, it seems.
Yeah, and Dark Seal and Corrupting Pod just are very symbiotic. They work so well with each other. Yeah, the matchup's not gonna be. He's not gonna have a good time, but who knows? We'll see what happens. I think top lane is gonna be pretty interesting. Echo looks like he's clearing towards there. Lilia's clearing towards there. Lilia will get there first. Not taking the Grom, which is pretty good because she can get the more numerous camps first. Passes over behind the blue warded race. So
yeah, they knew that had been warded, so I do like that game plan. The ward's now timed out, so we'll be able to clear that camp after clearing the red buff.
Yeah, and they won't know she's there. I mean, they can assume, but they won't know for sure. So she's got a few options here. She can go top. She can go mid. I'd like to see her hover mid for like half a second and then roam top. Looks like Lovely is setting up for his buddy mid again.
Here comes the chrono break. Sai is not going to hop back. Doesn't really need to. Lovely's going to E onto a minion. The ignites are out. Static is going to live. Lovely slaying the lovely LeBlanc. And lots of things being blown in the mid lane. Once again, we see that ignite for Cheese.
Yeah, these two. Oh, they're fighting top lane too.
Oh no, Spell there.
No. A little trade. I love it. I love Lovely. He loves to camp mid, and it's very LCK of him.
And it works.
Yeah, I mean, the Leah just had to match, and she didn't match. She didn't match, and so they get the kill. That nice little hard-earned kill that Sai had picked up, level 1, gets kind of evened out now.
Yeah, and I have this bone to pick with Svelter. They love tanking minions. Like, we just see in this top side, there's like 40 million minions, and they're just tanking it. Like, yeah, it's fine. I don't need to, worry about my HP bar. I'm a Mordekaiser. But, like, it's so scary when you have, like an Elkin Kled on the other side, just ready, willing, and able to just explode your HP bar.
Everyone is out for blood, and unfortunately the bloodlust clouds your judgment.
Oh no, the chain has connected. Now Dylan Wang gonna wallop him in the face, and that is gonna be another kill in the mid lane. Only one stack on that Dark Harvest ring, but now we see Kezra forced to flash away, flash forward from the opposing AD carry. Now Elkin in a 1v1 does get his little buddy Kled to break it a 2v1, and at the very last second, that tether's gonna snap.
Whew, yeah, Echo, Lovely has to burn his flash there. We get the 2v2 bot, we get the 1v1 top.
Oh no, you can't run away from a Lilia. You just can't. She gets the kill.
Yeah, he grieves there. Looks like he was gonna try to take another camp. Unfortunately, face checks the Fawn, and she runs him down.
Yeah, I mean, like, she really is speed racer. Like, it's so incredibly difficult to get away from her.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Wang's just being annoying now.
Oh.
Um, I don't think Svelter has the damage just yet with his cloth armor, ruby crystal to even win that trade. Um, and I am curious what he's actually going to be building first off of those items, because if he's going full tank Mordekaiser, I feel like they may have been better suited to just pick a tank.
Yeah, probably Tabbies. Cloth armor goes into Tabbies, and the Ruby goes into the upgraded CDR health item. I forget the name
Kindle
of.
Gem.
Kindle Gem, yeah. But
But
I
like, then
mean,
what do you build Kindle Gem into as an AP champion?
eesh.
unless it turns into a Seeker's Arm Guard and a Hunting Guys. Yeah, that's
True.
it.
Could do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he does. CS is even, at least. He's not behind, so that's nice. Or at least down at CS. He's behind in kill goes.
Triple longsword coming out for Elkin, though. Very aggressive build. Just wants to do damage and do damage fast.
Yes, yes. Kill, 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 kill. He's definitely just trying to murder that guy.
We do see Lovely hanging out with his buddy Static Cheese. The good ward there from Sai to make sure that he doesn't get popped up on again.
Yeah, even though Unbroken, down in gold, picks up the Fire Drake, so it's pretty good on them.
And with it being the Ocean Dragon second, we could once again get Earth Soul. It's actually Earth Soul or Cloud Soul, which we've had one of each so far. So, tricky Yone.
He can get that wave pushed in, it'd be pretty good for him.
Although he did not get it fully pushed, so I don't think Sai's too worried about this one.
No. He could have chosen to frozen there and then called Lily over for the gank, but yeah, it's still held at the tower. She could still come over.
Glad jumping in, gonna win that trade. Lovely finds himself a support. Lilia showing up, Ignite getting procced from Ordinary.
It's funny how they all seem to decide to fight at the same time, huh?
Yeah, it's very interesting. This top lane is like exactly my nightmare scenario where Elkin just gets to do what they want, bullies Felter, and it almost looks like it's gonna be a repeat of game 1.
Yeah, and he's level 6 now.
What is happening? Flash is being burned everywhere. Dylan Wang super duper low. Gonna get taken down, shut down by Static Cheese, who is not gonna be able to land the ultimate onto anybody. Does get popped back, and here comes the Kled Pumpkin, but it's a little late.
Ooh, okay, a lot just happened just now. Looked like Yone got just a little too excited off the Lilia kill and was looking for more. Unfortunately, he misses, but he did get the, I think it was shutdown gold there off the Lilia, so good for him.
Yeah, it'll help him get back into it. You know, he is only sitting on this dagger. You know, not exactly where he wants to be in life. He does have almost 1,700 gold in his back pocket, though. I'm sure he will be investing that wisely once he gets a chance to back again.
Yeah, and this matchup is rough at the start, but eventually he gets his items. He's going to outscale LeBlanc. He'll be a real threat. That's true. He can't scale if he gets cannons. Oh, it might actually just die. Oh,
the trade!
Going 1 for 1. He did. LeBlanc.
Now we see more action in the top side. Felter's gonna try and take the Fawn to the death realm, but he doesn't win that fight. He just simply doesn't win the fight. He does flash over the wall to stay alive, though. Lilia gonna be surviving under tower, able to pick up the kill on the Lovely, who simply underrepresented his damage. Now Kezra's gonna get flashed on to go down in this top side. Dylan picking up another kill on the Lilia. 4-1-1 now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Dylan gets 2 top. Meanwhile, bot lane trade support for 80 carry, or well, AP carry, I guess. Here.
Carry.
Yeah. So it's some pretty interesting. Oh no, that just went all in favor of Team Boba, huh?
Yeah, I definitely think Team Boba Boys comes out quite ahead there. You get a kill on the Caitlyn. We get 2 kills onto
Lilia.
your jungler. Technically, your mid laner got a kill. Yeah, they died, but like, it's Sion and Assassin. We've already seen how this story ends.
Oof. Ugh, you can see that LeBlanc trades there is just very painful. It's very painful. Yone pretty much no reaction.
I mean, yeah, what can he do at this point if he doesn't have his Q primed? Like, how does he actually respond?
He can't. He just has to watch. At most, he gets the W shield, but I mean that's just not enough.
He does get it this time. Is going to go aggressively, popping the ultimate even. Does proc the LeBlanc passive. Didn't have Ignite ready. That may have been the difference maker there. But it does potentially open up for the dragon play. It is spawning in 20 seconds. And Sai is almost forced to back. Oh, wait. Ordinary hiding in a bush is going to land tons of crowd control into Lovely before getting the Dark Passage to safely. But here comes Elkin. Pop Blossom procking onto 1. But Kezra is not very tanky. Dylan on a killing spree with the Fawn of Destiny. Going to be picking up their 5th kill. And what should have been... Oh no. Static Cheese. Going to get locked up. Depth Charge still available. Oh man. Oh, breaks the tether, but oh man. That's some good play. Stays alive. The smite goes the way of Dylan, who's might be able to find more kills, honestly. They're so low. Now there's so much speed. Oh no. Alright. Still alive. Might be going down. Can they he still gets a kill.
Oh, goes fresh though. Not ideal. Not an ideal scenario. Dylan biting off a little more than
they don't check the bush either. There's a control ward there. They didn't check the bush. The full vision control coming in for Team Boba Boyz. He ran through the bush. Send hooks. Clear the ward. You ran through it.
Oh no. Their eyes must be everywhere else. Oh, unlucky.
It's falling apart. Not like this.
I would like to try to slow things down a bit. Just secure vision in your jungle. Let Boba Boyz into Tad. Because right now, you're 4k gold down. Don't fight. Don't fight anymore. Let Mordekaiser scale up.
I would like to point out that between the two of us, we figured out what Mordekaiser was building. We got a Kindle Gem and a Seeker's On Guard. Static Cheese gonna go in aggressively, pops the ultimate, but Ordinary with the dredge line has his number. And so now can Ordinary escape is the question. He's gonna flash away into a friendly Elkin, and it turns out he will survive. Lilia now joining the fray, forcing them to flash defensively. And I do love Team Boba Boyz with how team-oriented they are playing right now.
Yeah, both teams have highly adapted towards playing around mid at this point. And that's built up over the past 2 games, or well, 2 to 13-minute times worth of third game. So you can see how NA RAM this has become at this point. You know, so both supports trade flashes there. And the only unlucky part is that Yone had died. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and you know, they weren't even able to get the counter kill on to Ordinary.
Yeah.
So overall, another W for Team Boba Boyz. Elkin continuing to farm up, is now 23 SCS over his opponent. All right, into the bottom lane we go. Dredge line not going to quite connect. Pop Blossom onto 2 gets the heal out of Luxian, and they are going to land a death sentence that may eventually be the kill. Kezra is finally able to pick it up. Lovely gets caught out in his own jungle, though, and the Echo that was once a star is now a power black hole, and is just getting bullied by Dylan.
Yeah, he is just giving so much gold over to the opponents. The surprise here is that the Nico Thresh 2v2ing,
once again, alright, he might actually win. Alright, he fell asleep.
Okay,
one more auto. Okay, so he actually wins the fight. I'm
nice.
kind of surprised. He did take a nap in the middle, which is nice. You know, he's got to stay rested. Svelter, though, now has to run away from Elkin with no abilities left. Tries to scoop him backwards, but Elkin is not going to fear this tower. There goes the bear trap on the rope. There goes the grievous wounds. Svelter's still alive? All right, the blunderbuss gonna close it out, and now Lovely finally looking to pick up some kills, but can Scarl come back in time? Only needs like 2 more autos, and Sai's moving up.
It's just gonna clear the wave and protect the tower.
I do think that's the right play. This is first brick, Sai can just auto it, and now Lovely doesn't have flash just yet, but he does so much damage actually. Doesn't land the stun onto Sai, procs the passive. Don't chase. Don't you do it. Don't. Oh, wait. Maybe. Don't. The corrupting potion gave him so much HP. He gets the shutdown with the timeline there. Oh man, Lovely the god coming out ahead there.
What a beast. What an absolute beast. 1 in 5. Wow, okay. Nice. And he's just scoping the area.
Static? Alright, he dodges the tumbleweed.
Whew, okay, wow. Alright, so only down 4k gold now. They get the shutdown off the LeBlanc. They get the shutdown off Lilia. I don't think Kled died. Yeah, Kled just ran to the bush and recalled. But overall, it's actually pretty good for Unbroken.
Once down in the bot side, Plot Blossom only going to connect onto Ordinary. Can they even get a kill out of this? Does have to Proto Belt away. Forced to flash as well, so they are not going to get ahead. And they are recalling on a ward. This should signal the final tower push. They're actually going to ace in the hole. Okay, that's a good decision too.
Yeah.
You know there's a ward there. Why are you still backing?
Well, I believe this dragon will go to Boba Boyz if nothing crazy happens due to the recall timer. Oh, yeah, for sure it just goes over. So they do get the second Drake. It's Cloud. Nice little CDR on ultimate. Not bad, not bad.
Still alive. Lovely's hanging out on the ward. So he does pop his... Ordinary is like, all right, come on, really, guy? Just go home already. It's too long. Lovely's taking the dark passage to safety. He goes all the way back and actually gets the kill onto Ordinary. Yone now showing up, popping all of his abilities, just barely not going to get the kill onto Sai. And the Bramblethorn actually stops the death sentence from connecting, which is super unfortunate. They are finally going to clear this Tribush ward. And overall, it's a 1-for-1 and a dragon going over to Team Boba Boyz.
Yeah, trading kills still beneficial for Unbroken, but it's losing the towers. I think that is going to be the biggest problem. They lost mid tower just before the Drake, and top tower before that. So I mean that basically signs Herald over to Boba Boyz, and they are just hemorrhaging gold and neutral objectives, unfortunately. However, you can see the fight's starting to get really close with Echo and Yone scaling up. And Nico is no sloucher for damage right now. Actually, 2v2s are pretty close. So team fights, I think at this point can still go either way, even with the 6k gold deficit. I would just like to see them pick one that's in their favor from the start, you know?
Yeah, and as, like you said, the Herald is on the table. They are clearing out some wards. It should still go over to Team Boba Boyz. The opportunity, though, to steal is there. Lovely's already done it once. You know, we missed it in game 1, but he has done it before. Not able to
dragon, too.
That is true. Hasn't done it just yet. Sai jumping forward, gonna land. That's so much damage. Sai gonna pop back, but the flash forward from Dylan will have the sleep available eventually. Doesn't even need it. Does get one. Now Lovely's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Can ult. Oh, that would have been the perfect ult. But, oh no. Luxion with that headshot. Gonna do the damage needed. And the hook gonna connect on the Luxion, actually. Pop Blossom not being used just yet. We do see everybody slowly ticking down. The Drowsy coming out onto Svelter's, not quite enough. The charge comes out from somewhere. Nico gonna get hooked in, doesn't have a Zonia's. So he's gonna go down to Dylan Wang, 8-3-3 now. Luxion gonna get scooped in. Flash forward coming out from Sai, able to get 1-2 more and goes down, but that should be a lot in favor of Boba Boyz.
Yeah, there's the ace, and another mid tower falls. Didn't get the Herald, but I mean, if you can take the tower without it, you don't really need it. And they get 5 kills on top of it, so it's pretty worth. I love how aggressive Dylan is. He just runs in. He says, "Oh, you CC that guy? I'm just gonna flash forward and start this fight. I hope you guys show up." He just does not seem to care at all about where the enemy is or where his team is. He's going in, and you better show up and help out. And thankfully, his team always shows up. So.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about how the Lilia can build kind of an off tank. Went for the Runic Echoes, jungle item first, and then went right into Adaptive Helm, and now has the cloth armor. And most of their damage is coming from this, Dark Seal. Currently at 6 stacks. If things continue the way they are, I have to imagine that they will be building up to the Mejai Soul Stealer. Has died 3 times, but I can't remember the last time they died.
No, I think it was just before the last dragon. He ran into the jungle and died to Thresh or something.
Correct.
Something like that.
Ordinary gonna get thorned up. Death sentence back there, throwing everything at him. Lovely ulted backwards. I don't think that was the button he meant to hit. We do get the Dark Harvest stack on the Ordinary as well. Elkin getting dragged back in. Lovely doesn't have an escape route. If this goes poorly, we do see the death charge onto one. Elkin on a killing spree. It's now Kezra forced to flash his way as well. We do see the Death Realm proc onto Luxion, who's super mobile and is able to get away. The death sentence was a bit too early. And so now Luxion ready to heal up. They can potentially try and get Elkin, but Dylan's now showed up, and Svelter's going to go down. Killing spree onto him. Drowsy through as well. Now Static Cheese not quite as strong on the Yone this side. Gets a 3-man ultimate, though. Not enough damage on the Luxion. Keeps him alive. Double kill once again for Dylan's Lilia. 10 kills now. Fully stacked Dark Seal and Dragon spawning in 10 seconds.
Yeah, obviously it'll be very easy for them to pick it up. That Tri-Bush has seen some action. Has seen a lot of action this game. Just below the dragon. Oh man, Mordekaiser actually almost killed Caitlyn at the top of, or in the middle of that fight. It was very close. They went flash for flash, but she just gets away.
Size bush hunting as well. Lovely, trying to get something done. Does get chained up, forced to ult back into the enemy team. Oh, they're out. They're safe for now, and they survive. The potential Dragon Steel still available, but Luxion with that Storm Razor says, "You cannot get away from me." And now the rest of the team showing up for Unbroken. Can they get in here and make something happen? Send Hooks wants to get a juicy hook, but this big beefy Nautilus is there. I don't know what I just saw on my screen because the Scarl was just running on through. That was super weird. They do land the stun onto Dylan, but the 3-man sleep is too strong. Sai into the backside, gets one, does stay alive as well. We do see Static Cheese trying to get anything done, but the Yone is not the same one from last game. Svelter in a 1v5 situation, gonna go down to Sai's killing spree, and a 4-for-1 to Team Boba Boys, along with the Dragon. And I'm not sure there's much game left here, Dougie.
No. No. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Win condition for Unbroken here is maybe one of the enemy's DCs, preferably Dylan. He is just absolutely crushing them on this Lilia. He gets the 4-man sleep. I think it was a 4-man. It's at least 3. He's just running around, doing lots of DPS with that built-in Leandries. I have to say, both of these new champs look really great, don't they? The Yone ults have been looking really nice. Lilia's been looking really good. It's kind of awesome.
And so we do see Lilia. I'm waiting to see if they pick up the Mejais, because they're fully stacked on the Dark Ring. They opt not to. Okay.
No.
They picked up a Catalyst instead. I'm a little disappointed because it's such a win more button when you're sitting on 10 kills. You haven't died in a long time.
Yeah.
It's fun to see, but Static Cheese on this Yone is just getting exploded by Size LeBlanc.
Gets caught out there. is dead.
There's definitely a reason why this LeBlanc was banned away earlier. Here comes the mighty Pumpkin Charlie Brown. The engage is on, and they're under the tower, and it seemingly does not matter. Pop Blossom onto 2, though. Sai goes down. Sai is done. We are going to get the trade back on to the Echo. Luxion unstoppable. And this is still going to continue. More minions, more tower damage. The Caitlyn's completely untouched.
If I was under their tower and they almost went out there, they do get the little block, but unfortunate, Lilia walks away with just the tiniest sliver of HP. Mordekaiser are going to pick up the ball lane tower. Just a little extra gold for everybody. And Boba will most likely just pick up the Baron here. Oh, maybe not? No?
Look at how fast he is. It's so fast.
Yeah, he's definitely showing off. Doing some laps around the jungle there.
You know, Thresh has been spending too much time in the underworld eating chips and Cheetos. He's missing out on his workout routine.
And not even COVID-19 not being nice to him, keeping him inside.
the Lilia fitness trainer skin when, please. The Wii has it. We need one ourselves.
True.
Oh, man. This is so tough. You know, Elkins got ahead, 3-0-9 on the Kled. You know, the worst fears have come through. You know, everybody's, doing their Sonic cosplay. And just how do you, as a team, lock somebody down when you don't have a point and click?
Well, I think Unbroken's bot lane has done actually a decent job at landing their CC. And actually picking up some kills because of it.
Oh. Here comes the Lilia into the enemy jungle. Kezra's going aggressive, though. I think he's trying to bait out Pop Blossom onto Dylan's going to land. Can they get the kill, though? So much movement speed. They get the Dark Harvest proc, and now the rest of the team has showed up. Elkins into the back line along with Ordinary lane to the depth charge. Everybody's so very low. Dylan's finally going to get shut down. Ordinary flashes away safely. Does go down to Svelter's Dark damage, and they do get him back, but now the fight is still over because the bottom lane of Team Boba Boyz is simply too strong. Triple kill for Luxion. The Cloud Drake in 30 seconds, and how much more can they get out of this team?
I think it's just gonna be the dragon only. It can pressure the towers, but probably the dragon, reset, set up for Baron, get the Baron, look to end the game. They do get shut down. Unbroken gets shut down onto Dylan, or off of Dylan, but it's definitely not enough to put them back in the game.
Static Cheese has to be a little careful. Does have the Phantom Dancer, and is working towards his Infinity Edge. He's 17,500 gold, so he's not too far off.
Should have it, I think.
I was gonna say, I forget the exact combined cost. I think you need 1950, don't you? Because it's 625 for full combined plus the 1300. No, he had it.
He got it. It's
my math's off then.
Plus the 4, so 1700.
Carry the 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, exactly. Oh no.
And so we do see Cloud Soul now over to the side of Team Boba Boyz.
Oh, I just thought Lilia, oh my, with Cloud Soul. Oh.
Yeah, we'll be sleeping everybody. We do see the spooky ghosts come out from Kezra. And I feel like it's super weird to, like, obviously that's a meta item for Nico. It's super strong on her. But opting into the Electrocute over the Glacial, I'm wondering why you still build it. Like, you don't get the most out of it. It's not a very, high damaging item. You build it majorly for, the active, and when you don't combine that with the Glacial, it's kind of a weak active in my opinion. It's only a 40-second slow, but Send Hook's already down to half HP due to Psy. We do see the engage coming in from Static Cheese, who does so much damage. He flashes forward as a ghost before snapping back, and now we see Lovely in a 1v3 at the Baron pit. The smite goes down. That should just about do it for the team. Static Cheese going super aggressive, and it gives Elkin the rampage he was looking for. And so now Svelter takes the LeBlanc to the Drethrum and just obliterates her. And And so now Elkin's trying to get away. Can they catch up to him? They send Skarl fleeing for the hills. Death Sentence is going to connect and shut down, going over to Svelter once again. What also goes over, however, is the Baron to Team Boba Boys.
Yeah, Unbroken, that was a good move, getting those 2 kills bot. I mean, they obviously could not contest that team anymore towards top and Baron, so just give it up. I don't think Lovely got that memo. Maybe he's going in for the steal, I'm not sure. But getting the 2 kills is not enough to put him in the game, but it's still good for them. They make sure that 2 of them don't get Baron, and they get some shutdowns, so not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I mean, those are some pretty hefty shutdowns, too. I think one of them was 700. Kled had a 650 shutdown, and that was the only one they got, looking at the chat here. Lilia is super willing to take this 1v3 because, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Speed Racer, but they can't catch him. And they're actually winning this fight. It's a 1v4, and Dylan just does not care. Is going to get a 3-man sleep. Might actually kill Lovely by themselves. They do. Okay. So I really don't know what else to say. Double kill coming in for the enemy Caitlyn. Luxion really feeling themselves. We do see Svelter trying to get something done. Huge ultimate in from Static Cheese, but it simply wasn't enough to take out Dylan on this really fast Fawn. Gonna pick up another kill for themselves.
He's just toying with them. He was just toying with them that entire fight.
That's game. That's actually game.
The series over to Boba Boys. They did a really good job at securing leads early game and just ramming it down the opponent's throat. Really big gold gaps in both games that they won.
And the Lilia pick was so kind of came out of nowhere, in my opinion. You know, it wasn't something we had seen. You know, I was kind of thinking that Dylan was going to stick with the set. You know, it was fairly effective in either game. You know, they didn't win game 2, but, you know, the pick itself was still fairly strong. But no, I mean, they bust out this Lilia and just solos the game. Like, I don't really know how else to put into words the impact this Lilia had.
Yeah, most damage, and even though she built tank, I don't know, he played that champ very well, and it looked good. I've heard rumor that actually nerfs are coming for her from PvE. But he really performed on the champ. It looked really good. It was nice. I liked seeing both of the new champs here. Maybe Lilia is just a better new champ. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we don't truly know due to the overshadowing of Yone's release. So, I mean, we'll definitely have to wait and see how the next couple patches play out. But it does look like that is going to do it for us here tonight. Unbroken still in the hunt for their first season win. Congratulations to Team Boba Boy for taking their second win. I believe they are now 2-2 on the season. Do you have any final words before we close out shop, Dougie?
No, but I'm actually, you know what? I'm glad that game went to game 3. That was entertaining for sure. And I like seeing both the new champs. I think it's nice. We can get some more series like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I always love going to game 3. It does make for the most exciting of series. And so we do want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat for spending your Sunday day with us and catching all of the action here. Definitely give a shout out to Resident Esports for giving us the opportunity to talk about these wonderful matches. Be sure to follow them on Twitter to get all of the league updates for all of their leagues, and maybe keep an eye out for some potential tournaments coming your way. But once again, I am the Doctor, being joined by Dougie J, and we're going to be sending it off into the void as we end our show here tonight. And be sure to tune in next time for some more League of Legends action.